Okay, the microphone is live. You may now begin.
Okay. Can you put the agenda up there or not?
I will work on doing that.
All right, so I had to put the agenda up here, or get the microphone going. Get out of your way.
Now, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
And real quick, I think the main purpose of this meeting is what is the village going to do? And we're here to answer any questions you have. You really can't escape, unfortunately. It's not our company, it's the developer's company, and it had paid so you have the access to these roads. Now the Ridge Road work done here. If road comes through, nobody would clean up. The master takes care of that for you. That's what the master does. And there's 892 homes which it encompasses. And each one, and they're separated by 5 different communities, which is in there. Is there any questions anybody has on the villages itself?
Where's Hampton building?
Hampton is it's in the Windsor Rec. It's like back down here about the Cubulus, right back here. There's like Publix, that right? The Publix is right by there. It's like behind that Publix.
I thought that was Windsor Place.
Yes, but there's also they're called Hampton.
That's in.
It's inside, like you go through that street and it's in the back.
Oh,
area.
okay.
So that's Hampton. It's 2 different communities that's joined as one.
Okay.
Called Hampton Windsor Rec.
Okay, thank
So
you.
that's what Hampton is.
What about the Oaks? Is it part of the villages?
I don't believe it is. Not
Why
me.
not?
Don't know. Couldn't tell you. It's just not something we take care of.
The builder.
The builder, yeah. This is all something that the builder had to do, and
It
it's,
was all boys, right?
yes, sir. Voice it. And then, and now they have to be maintained. So what he does, and when the developer turned over control, he sold, I think it was 75% for them. They turned it over to the master. Said, all right, we're out. You guys take care of your own area. The county's not taking care of it. And, we found a little extra money, because we're not in the money-making business, we're only in the maintaining business. So we have to keep money in the account in case there's an emergency, and insurance, pay all the fees, and if there's a little extra, we don't want to charge you for it, we want to try and just keep it as low as possible.
Right.
And that's what we did this last year. That's why it went down to $85. And then some of it, since it started, some of it has been sold off, so we don't take care of it anymore. Like where that Dollar General is, that's all theirs now. That little easement there, they got to take care of that. Stuff does get sold off over time.
Another question.
Yes,
That corner there by the light, where the landscaping is, those wood poles there, is that part of?
you have to tell me exactly where. Here,
Corner of Town Center Road into Cubulus on the right-hand side.
right here, right there. Oh, down here. Is this,
By-
this is,
by-
that's right where we end, but there's this is the high school, correct?
Yeah.
Right. No, this is that golf
This
course,
is the
right?
golf
That little
course, this is the
That's
17th
theirs.
and 18th.
Well, no, the other side.
On the other
where-
side here,
No, that is not us.
It was.
It was?
At one time.
It was, the Dollar General has it, so they have to maintain it.
That corner
Yeah,
there?
this corner right here by Dollar General.
No, that's incorrect, no. Dollar General bought a portion of that.
Dollar General only
The other portion is
owns
attached
to right here. This whole corner here is still up it's with,
It's part of that parcel. because
But I don't believe it's not ours though,
No, it was at one point,
but it's not
but
anymore.
it's not anymore.
Yeah, whoever owns that parcel will have to look, they don't pay into the villages, so they don't get any maintenance. I had a realtor call and said, why don't you maintain it? Because you don't pay us. So we're not maintaining it. So, but that's, they're trying to make us do it, but it's not ours.
If I can, real quick.
Yes.
Sure.
My name is Brian Tortorella. I've been a resident of the villages for 30 years. I started in the Oaks, now I live in Sable. I am the current vendor that maintains, for the last probably 10 years, a lot of the villages property. That area I used to maintain, but I had sold off. On occasion, when it gets bad, I will know, like the high school side of the golf course, which I don't have to. I do it because the kids walk there, and I will pick up trash in those areas. I'm actually the person that installed those poles years
Oh,
ago.
okay, yeah.
But technically I don't have to, but I do because I'm a resident and I try to make things look nice. But mainly right now, all I maintain is River Ridge Boulevard.
We used to pay for those posts and landscape. Well, we
Originally,
don't
that
now.
was part of the villages, but then an individual purchased that parcel.
So
Just like I used
what
to
communities
maintain-
are part of the villages?
Yeah, but Deer, I think it's Deer Park, Sablewood, Windsor, Hampton, Edgewood, Edgewater, Rosewood, a couple
And
more.
the River Ridge Country
And the
Club.
River Ridge Country Club.
Dawson Creek, Edgewater.
Edgewater, yes, and Edgewood, yes. And villages maintains up to like the Edgewater gate, after the gate is on their HOA, individual HOA.
Who maintains the sidewalks that run along the river?
That would be the city, the county.
Except for Rosewood. We pay.
Okay, well, I'm not part of Rosewood, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
inside the community is, but down the, which
Yeah.
is always down to Cuba, so.
Oh, okay.
That's a, they need to.
That's county,
they need
that's
to-
on the county road.
So that's kind of an overview of what the villages is. I know it's been confusion over years, like what am I getting for my money? Well, it's the kind of stuff that just by moving in there, you wouldn't have a neighborhood without it. We'll put it that way. No house would have been built without having this area bought out by Boyce, and he had to maintain it. And then he'd pass that maintenance on to the homeowners.
Yeah.
The for sale sign at, Ridge and River Ridge,
River Ridge Boulevard.
there, that southwest corner.
Mhm.
Are we trying to sell our property there?
We don't own any property. We don't own, the villages doesn't own any property. We have a common
We're
area.
maintaining a big area back there.
That's an individual parcel.
Mhm.
It's not part of the village, it's like the I
I
five
need
or something like that.
Well,
It's not being maintained at all, though, right? It's just.
I maintain up to a certain
Right.
point.
you maintain the median of the road.
And
What-
part of the size, part of the
Oh,
size.
you do this size.
Yes.
Because that's really cut way back, so you're maintaining.
That corner?
You're cutting way back.
That's, when I originally started, that was a portion that I was told to maintain, and that's what I maintain until I'm told otherwise. I'm not sure where the lines are. I mow to a telephone pole, that's one of the boundaries, a portion of that drainage ditch. Years ago, for those of you who remember, that's where the original, builder's offices were, there were construction trailers back there, back in the day.
Oh.
So, and then they moved to another location.
And we're just trying to keep it nice looking for the current residents.
Sure.
So, and Brian has been working on that, because, you know, if he stopped where he's supposed to, probably this stuff would be overgrown by no time. And then he'd be calling the county and they'd be like, hey, you know, we'll get to it.
Tall pines.
Tall pines is not part of it.
But they use it more than Rosewood does, or Windsor.
They're really off of the cumulus, that's what they're off of, but they do not pay into the villages. They have their own separate associations, they maintain their own roads.
Oh, yeah, but that River Ridge Boulevard
Yeah, people use it, but,
was heavily used,
yeah,
but people in those other neighborhoods,
yes, it is.
not by Rosewood.
That's why the county is maintaining the roads. So the county will maintain the roads, so you're not paying into a road reserve fund.
Right.
So if something happens to the road, the county will take care of the road.
There's a
Just,
right of way
just a
agreement,
common, just a common area that,
the right of way agreement
right.
for the lights and for the grass and trees.
So they,
Oh, that's right. I've been here 20 years and I didn't know what I'm paying the fee every year for.
hopefully this clears up a little for you.
Oh, yeah, it does.
The main is,
There's a lot.
there's 18 streetlights that you have to pay for. The county's not paying for. So we are paying for
Well,
the
isn't,
streetlights.
is that unusual?
No, not really. It happens like in Tall Pines or another neighborhoods, they pay for their own streetlights. There's many HOAs that pay for their own streetlights.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know, I have
We pay for
community
it.
down here, the Golden Acres Estates, they gotta pay their own streetlights.
Save 113.
We pay ours,
Yeah, you know, so it's not uncommon at all.
And it also says rental on the letter that I have here.
Pardon?
What's the rental on streetlights?
It's something that the county, or the, what do they call it, rec or whatever it is, Duke Energy, whichever one it is, they just charge, hey, we're gonna charge you $30 a month plus whatever the electric is.
Plus
No, they
electric
don't
bill.
charge for electric, standard rate.
Yeah, whatever the rate is, but they'll charge you for having the pole, whatever that rate is, and then they'll charge you for the usage of it. So, you know, they're gonna get you, you know.
Yeah, okay, I got you, yeah.
And in other communities, they are starting to replace some of those poles to LED lights, so there's no extra charge for that, but it'll be better for lighting.
The electric bill. Well,
Well, it won't, but it'll have LED lights. Yeah, it's never gonna go down.
It'll make you feel better,
Yeah,
but
no, it goes up. That was electricity. Don't go down.
yeah, it should.
It should, but are we gonna see anything now?
This is being negligible. And so, I'm gonna let Roger take over here. There really isn't much to talk about today, because we do have we had a nomination for a new board. We don't have a quorum, but there was an exact amount of nominations as board seats available. So those 5 people will be on the new board. And with this new board, hopefully we can meet a little bit more. I know we haven't, this has not met in a long time. There's COVID issues, but mainly there wasn't much response from the neighborhood until just recently, which is, I'd like to see the response.
Well,
People need to know.
is this meeting supposed to be held annually?
Yes, and it will be held. There'll be this annual meeting every year. And then going forward, we should have 1 or 2 extra meetings during the year. There'll be like a budget
Yeah,
meeting.
because I mean, I've lived here for 5 years and this is the first time I have.
Yeah, it has been, it has been sent out, but nobody has
I
responded.
mean, I'm not
There's no
disappointed, but
response.
I'm just saying if people aren't aware of it.
Right.
Even when these letters went out, a lot of the residents in my community, were asking me like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know, I've never seen it before.
It was very hands-off for a long
And then-
time, so we're
So
trying to
I
get it
called-
more hands-on because it is your money, your community.
Richard, did I hear you? So we probably don't have a quorum, right?
Correct.
So you said the 5 people that ran are just gonna automatically sit on the new board?
There is no election because there's
Right.
there's no reason for an election. So the ones that submitted to be on the board will be on the board. So, going forward.
The exact number of people that submitted is the exact number of spots. So there's no,
Running again?
no, I am.
Neighbor, you want to-
I'm the HOA president for River Ridge Country Club.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for your
And
time.
who
Has a list here, he'll let you know. We're gonna send out, the best way is for the villages. This mailing costs $200, but it's $192.
Richard, this mailing cost $6,000.
6,000.
It was 3,000 for each one, and I sent out 2.
We want to have that.
Yes, if we're gonna be having meetings more often, I need people's emails, because that will not be the cost-effective way
The
to
other
handle it.
suggestion would be, I mean, is it not, I mean, would it be prudent not to have a website?
Our Facebook page.
We're not gonna do a Facebook page.
I'm just.
The website you can do, there's a cost associated.
Yes,
really
it's fairly,
the,
it's fairly minimal,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
we
it
just did so we could have a differentiation. This last couple of years ago, we brought in the reclaimed water to River Ridge Country Club community. As for that, we got a $250,000 grant, but as such, we had to basically show that we were a separate entity from the golf course, because the golf course is not us. So in doing that, we put up our own individual sign and not the golf course's sign. And then we also put together a website that just got up, we just now got it up and running, that is ours and maintained by the community and not our property management company. So no matter if we change companies in the future, whatever, we still have exclusive control of that. And we put out notifications, we put out if anything's going on in the community, like a yard sale, if there's anything that's going to be going on, like new residents moving in or houses for sale or something like that, we try to keep everything up on that.
I think they should create a Villages of River Ridge website.
Your new board can discuss
Resident-
that.
Resident only login.
Your new
That's
board
the way
can-
that's the way we did this when we sent out,
Yeah.
only, you had to be
It's
sent a login request to you, and it was up to you to fill out the request to get that sent back. You got to
It's like for less than $6,000.
Oh, I guarantee it. Well, just to go back on
It
that, on the
costs-
mailing, we have to do mailing. It's a requirement by law, by statute. We have to have a mail out. Unfortunately, we can't just email it. We have to mail it out.
Right, but you only have to do the mail out for the annual.
Yeah, just the annual, and just the annual. That's the only one.
That's
The other ones, we
same-
can just post and send email and be fine.
So where does that show
Right,
up?
we
on
did
this?
our website, I think it was for just 350.
Yeah, you can, like, Wix or something like that, it can be done. But the new board can discuss this. This is a board decision. And so, they want to do that? Great with it.
I like being very hands-on and very informative myself, so.
Yeah, so we're just gonna really quick go through this agenda, because technically there is no meeting, because you don't have a quorum. We had a call So, last year after. So we came back to the less, the $5. The election results, John, do you have the 5 names?
All 4 of them should be sitting here.
And I know this is Don.
David Ackers, you here? David? No, that's right, I think okay. Roger Bernard, Donald Becker, Rod Rodriguez called me this morning, someone on the board of Hampton called me. He was not feeling well. He took ill this morning. He was in the hospital. He's home now, so he's good. And then Philip Smith.
And I'll talk with you 3 after, we'll set a separate meeting. Okay. All right, and do you have anything else you'd like to say, Roger?
No, anybody got any questions? I'll do my best to answer, but I have as much information as you do.
I was just looking at bank charges, $1,200 a year. Not a little expensive.
What charges?
Bank charges, it's an expense.
Well, it's the one, you got 892 homes and had to send out the coupons. That's the charge.
Oh, okay.
So that's that one, it'd be a one-time charge.
They don't,
Yeah, so that's what that charge is.
So is this to be part of our HOA?
Yes, it's part of our.
Because we don't get a
No,
separate.
in our community, you don't get it separate when it's all into your, all inclusive, that goes to the HOA.
Yours is the same way.
Same.
You're saying.
So I want
Ours
to
is
know.
regulated.
Yeah, I'm nullifying that, no.
It seems to me that we get all the homeowner associations to do what country club is, mail out these coupons.
Well, some people like the coupons, and the other problem we have is, I don't know if you've noticed, you're getting a lot more rentals in. We gotta send them to the rentals company, you know, we just can't, we can't stop the rentals. We'd like to, but we can't.
Yeah.
So,
We've reduced ours, we held a meeting 2 years ago, and reduced ours, as long as they were, before I came aboard, it was 10% of the community. We lowered that down to 5%. As long as they were still continually renting,
yeah,
they got to stay there, but if the house went vacant and stayed vacant for 6 months, they fell off the list, and if the 5% was there, nobody could get back on.
yeah, see now, for that type of thing, it would have to go within your
Yeah,
HOA. You
individual.
can't do the village's master. The master really just oversees the common part.
Yes.
Your HOAs would do that individually, that'd be great.
So,
We recommend, we would love to have that.
so other than maintaining common areas, function of this HOA?
It just really is to keep the roads running.
Okay.
And you were paying
I
insurance.
We don't pay
I'm
the
not- I'm not paying.
roads.
No, I'm saying, well, you keep the common areas, your insurance, your lights.
Right.
We really just keep it maintained, your taxes.
Yeah, it was like when all the trees fell down along the Cumulus during Hurricane Irma.
Yeah.
That's their responsibility now.
We didn't have any huge cleanup, so that's why, again, why the rates went down. We have a nice little, and I'll be able to send this out, we'll be able to send out all, like, this is your fiscal year, this is your budget for this year. This is what we're anticipating. And we'll go with the new board. I think we're gonna have a more active board than we have before, and I think that'll be great for the community, because they can, if they wanna upgrade the River Ridge Boulevard, fine. Any ideas they have, be great. And they can work with us and we can get this done for them. But mainly, it's just that we try and maintain this area. We're just overseeing it for the master. Again, it's not our company. It's something that the developer did way back when. So, and I know homeowners that the realtor never tells them about this. The title company never says anything. They're like, I don't know how to pay that. So it happens in everything they got. Little fees get left out.
So you guys drew the lucky or the short straw or something? or-
No, back in the day, we were hired to manage it for the developer or
Oh,
whoever it
okay.
was at the time. The board
So you've
said,
been handling it for a long time then?
probably what, 4 or 5 years, I think, at least, maybe a little longer. Yes.
I have two, I guess, questions or comments.
Yeah.
Being that I'm the vendor is, and this has been a thorn in my side for quite a long time, is either the new board in conjunction with the management company need to address 2 issues. The first issue is on River Ridge Boulevard, from the firehouse all the way to the entrance to the right side. I'll say technically, what I was told is from the road, the strip of grass between the road and the sidewalk is the village's property. From the sidewalk past is the Oaks property.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's the Oaks property.
There's me, well, it is the Oaks property, okay. But what I'm saying is, so I maintain part of that because the Oaks doesn't maintain it and haven't for years.
Talk to the board, we can include it in the
That
fee.
needs to be addressed, and also the church property. I mow River Ridge Boulevard on that side to the green power box, and then from that box, that whole frontage on the cubulus turning into Deerwood, that's their property. They need to maintain that a whole lot better.
Yeah, and I've had this issue with churches throughout. It's like, they just like, somebody will do it for us. God will do it.
Like
So-
a big tree laying there,
Yeah.
is that the church?
But I constantly pick up their trash.
And as a community, you may want to keep it that way, so you charge a little extra in your bid just to maintain stuff that may not even be yours, just to keep your neighborhood looking nice. That's the purpose of the village, make your area, your village, increase your property value. And your property values don't go up when you have grass flying up.
Or better yet, I would suggest, I mean.
We can contact them.
Yeah, contact them, draft a letter to them stating that if they wish to the maintenance to continue, then they need to pay a fee to you also.
But
Well,
I'm
who
the vendor that all the
enforces that?
people that walk on that
well-
sidewalk complain that the trees are
You'd have to call the
overhanging.
county.
He's not a community member, he's a vendor.
You know, he's a community member.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Oh, no,
I'm
you're not,
I
no,
live in Singlewood, ma'am. I'm the president of Continuum.
hold on.
And I live
You're
there
not a
for-
member, you're not a community member of the Oaks. So it's not like you can't go
I
to
just
their
live in
HOA
Oaks.
meeting and say, you guys need to maintain
But
this.
I-
I understand that you live in Sable, I got you. But all I'm saying is that he's not a member of the Oaks community, but he's kind of paying a price for them not maintaining. So
Well, everybody,
does this membership or this organization have some type of, pull or influence on the Oaks to say, hey, you guys need to
they have no,
maintain
there's no
this?
pull over them. We can contact the county.
So it's out of the goodness of their heart.
Yeah, it's, the basic thing that would go through is like, we could contact them and say, hey, guys, could you please keep this up? And if you don't, I would suggest that then, your fee, here's an extra 35, 65, whatever the amount is for it to be maintained, that's what you're gonna pay from now on. If you don't want to do it, then they call code enforcement.
Well, just as a side note, 2 or 3 years ago, the villages paid, I believe it was $5,000 to shave back all the trees that were all overhanging that sidewalk, because all the walkers come to me and I have to explain to them that that's not my property, and I would get with the management company, Dora at the time, or Studios, and explain, and we finally got bids, but that cost the villages $5,000 to maintain that, that's not their responsibility. So I'm like kind of in the middle, because people always want to come to me, and I'm like, that's really not property. That's why I know at least one pass on that side for all the walkers and the dog walkers, but technically that's not.
Yeah, that'd been a board decision, says, yes, we'll do that because it helps our property values. And really, that's the main goal of the board, to keep your property values up.
They'll just probably say, why didn't you do it more?
We can try to find out who's managing the Oaks and find out, who their cutter is, and say, hey, this is your responsibility.
No, trust me, they know it's their property, they're just
They don't care.
too cheap to maintain it. I just know somebody on the board that they just don't care.
So that's something for the board, the new board to discuss, whether you want to just keep maintaining it and
I
say,
kinda want
it's worth the extra, whatever amount.
I know, right? I have an effect like that. Anything else?
Any other questions from the floor?
No. That's why I came. I wanted to know your jurisdiction and scope of your authority. You answered all those questions.
Right.
And again, it's not us, the board will direct us, and then we do. So I'm happy that we have people that want to, keep the community going well, so it's great.
I have one that's not related to you, other than the golf course.
Right.
What's going on there?
Believe me, I get the same question
Sounds
every
like a
single
River Ridge
month.
Country
When
Club
we have our
HOA.
HO meetings every month, I get asked the same questions. We don't own it, we're not part of it, and we have no idea what the direction is with it.
But
I believe it was sold to an individual.
That's
It's
all.
getting mowed, somebody's paying
Well,
for
they
it to
have
be
to.
mowed, which for the first 4 months, it did not,
Okay.
until we complained the last.
Well, just so you know, I was a land use planner for 22 years in Florida, 10 for Pasco. And River Ridge is what's called a development of regional impact.
Mhm.
And their traffic improvements were predicated on a certain level of traffic being generated.
Mhm.
If you hear a whiff of, that clubhouse being open to the public,
Right,
be really careful, because their original approval was only for golf course, you just look at golf course
Uh-huh.
and residents.
They have that. I've already looked into that, and we own the entrance there. They have the right of easement for the use of the golf course. However, if it turns
Open to
to
the public.
public transit, so to speak,
They're gonna have to do a whole bunch of traffic improvements, maybe
Yeah.
a light at tea time and,
yeah, well, I'm sure if enough, which there's already been a significant amount of traffic increase down River Ridge and Decubus due to the open exchange there. I foresee probably in the next 5 years that they start moving forward with the widening of Decubus to the, the 4 lanes. They've already got it cut back for that ways through
I've
there.
heard that too. It's
So,
probably gonna happen.
but the restaurant opening up to the public is gonna generate a whole other level of traffic generation. So if you hear a whip of it opening to the public.
oh, believe me, I'm listening for the whiffs because I get hounded constantly. What are you guys doing? I'm not doing anything with it.
Yeah, it's just rumors.
That's gonna generate more.
Although they have put-
It's already bad enough.
Yeah. I mean, they've invested money in it. They. put
Yeah,
in
they did,
fund,
they did
did-
just get done doing the floors
They
and
did
such.
HVAC, so it's, I mean, something's happening, but
Just
it's all rumors right now.
Just slow.
Yes, it's not happening quickly.
One more question.
Yes.
Is there a sunset date for villages, or
Oh, you mean when this thing goes, no. Oh, 89 years, I'm sorry, I think it's 89 years. 89 years from when we started back in 90. But what I read is 89 years.
Okay, so we're not gonna.
Yeah. That's not, let you kids know, it's 89 years. Yes, ma'am.
Does anyone know when they're putting a light at town center in that ridge?
I have not heard.
Has
Have
anybody
you
heard
heard
anything?
anything?
I have not, but I believe the county has a website where you can go and request that they do like a traffic survey.
Right, because they do for the school, it's a nightmare, granted, thank goodness I don't have to go that way, but.
I heard that was.
The county said they don't have funding. They're waiting for funding.
They're gonna wait
For a
for kids
light.
to get hit.
All the development here, they don't have enough money. They're waiting for that.
They're gonna wait for
Yeah.
the school bus accident, because I noticed,
Oh, all right.
because I bike along there, and I noticed they still have 2 lanes. The one that's supposed to turn to the right, and they don't.
That's right.
They never do, you know, and
That's
so.
an easy fix, they just put those
Mhm.
barriers up.
I just didn't know.
Starkey, when you're coming north on Starkey,
Mhm.
everybody used to do that.
That's it.
Zoom around, they put those posts up, now you have to do it right. That's all they need.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they had a plan, because it's a nightmare in the morning.
And they don't ever inform us that's how you do it. But that's the other main thing of this, of the masters is that insurance. If a kid gets hit on River Ridge or whatever, just, instead of having them sue every homeowner, it sues the master, which has insurance policy. So that is, because there are idiots that get hit, they'll sue anything. They won't be able to sue the individuals, they'll sue the HOA or the master.
That intersection is a nightmare.
I think another issue the villages should address, and then you and I think you were, Tom and I discussed it, the new median islands on town center that they put in for traffic control by the school.
Yeah, that's a school.
Haven't been mowed since they put in that
Yeah,
sign.
they're not ours.
I've been told that it's my responsibility.
Yeah, it's not your
Somebody needs to do
responsibility.
it. Well, I don't know if the county or the school, but somebody needs to do it.
Well, we can call the county and say, hey, what's going on? See what answer we get from them. Yeah, right across from the school, it's perfect for them. Any other questions we have? All right, meeting is adjourned. Thanks for coming.
Great job. That's what we're talking about.